Good morning, 10th standard. Welcome back. Today we are going to start with the next chapter, chapter number 5, arithmetic progressions, in short also referred to as AP. So throughout the chapter I will be referring to arithmetic progressions as AP. Let us start by looking at a few examples to understand what arithmetic progressions are. So I have listed a few patterns of numbers here. I would like you to observe these patterns. All these patterns of numbers are called sequences. Sequences means you have a list of numbers and the list follows a pattern in some way. So you have done these sorts of questions in mental ability where you have been given a pattern and you have to find out the next number in the sequence. So as for now, I have listed a few examples and you can observe the pattern in each of the following. So if we look at the first example here, what's happening is to reach the next term or to obtain the next term, we are adding 3. So we can add 3 and we get the next number in the pattern. If you look at the second example here we are adding natural numbers. So from here, the first natural number 1 is added. Then at the second step, 2 is added. At the third step, 3 is added. Then we have plus 4, so on. Looking at the third example, here the pattern is not based on addition of a number, it's rather multiplication. So what's being done here is the first number is multiplied by 2 or doubled and we get the next number. Then again, the second number is doubled, we get the third number. The third number is doubled to get the fourth number, so on. So this has a different pattern than the first two. Here we had addition of some sort, here we have multiplication. Looking at the fourth sequence, if we ignore the first two numbers, ignoring these two, starting from here, what you will observe is that this number has been obtained by adding the previous two. So except for the first two, all the numbers have been obtained by adding the previous two numbers. So 2 was obtained by adding 1 and 1. Then 3 was obtained by adding the previous two, these two. So these two added together give you 3. Then you add 2 and 3, you get 5. You add 3 and 5, you get 8. You add 5 and 8, you get 13. So if you want to find out the next number in the sequence, you would have to add these two. It will be 21. Then you add these two, you get the next number. This is how you proceed. So this sequence has a different pattern than the remaining 3. So as you can see, there are different types of patterns of numbers or sequences based on the pattern they follow. We will not be studying about all of them. We are going to study about the ones which follow a particular rule. The sequence of numbers that we will study in this chapter is referred to as the arithmetic progression. Now observe the following sequences. All of these sequences are following the same rule. If you look at the first example here, to obtain the next term in the sequence, we are adding 3. So every time you add 3, you will get the next term. In the second example, if you subtract 3, then you get the next term. In the third example, you obtain the next term by adding 1. In fourth example, there is no change, so we could say that we are obtaining the next term by adding 0. In the last example, we have a sequence of decimal numbers and each of the values in the pattern is obtained by subtracting 0.5. So if we compare these sequences with the previous ones, you would see that these follow the pattern of addition or subtraction of a number to get the next value. So these type of sequences which follow the rule of addition or subtraction of a number are known as arithmetic progressions. We will be writing down the definition that will give you the technical meaning, but as for now you need to understand that when a sequence of numbers follows a pattern of addition or subtraction to obtain the next number, then we call that sequence as arithmetic progression. Another thing you want to note down here is the sequence could be finite, that means the list could come to an end, or the list could be infinite. So this list is a finite list. You could say this is a finite sequence, and these are infinite sequences where we have not written the last value. The list goes on and on. Now this is the definition for arithmetic progression. Arithmetic progression is a list of numbers. This list could be finite or infinite, in which each term is obtained by adding a fixed number to the preceding term except the first term. So if we ignore the first term, all the terms in the list or all the numbers in the list are obtained by adding a particular value to the previous value. So if you look at these sequences, you will see that every time we want to get the next number, what has been done, there has been a number which has been added or subtracted. Now, if it's addition, then it's fine. It goes by the definition, adding a fixed number. So 1 is a sequence in which 3 is added. 3 is added to the previous term and we get the next term. Looking at the sequence number 3, if we add 1 to the previous term, we get the next term. Looking at the fourth sequence, nothing is being added, so we could say we are adding 0. Now, what about sequence number 2 and sequence number 5? We are subtracting a value here. So when there is subtraction of a value to get the next term, we refer to it as addition of a negative number. So in this case and in this case, I would say that I am adding negative 3. And in this case, I would say that I am adding minus 0.5. So in all of these cases, we are having addition of a number. And the addition could be of a positive number, a negative number, or 0. This is what I've written here. So when you have a list of numbers where you obtain the next term by adding something to the previous term, then that list is called as an arithmetic progression. The list could be finite or infinite, and the value that we are adding to get the next term could be positive, it could be negative, or it could even be 0. Going over the examples again, we have a few sequences in which the terms are obtained by adding or subtracting something. If it's addition of a positive number, it's fine. But if it's addition of a negative number, we will refer to it as addition of a negative value. And then there is this sequence where nothing is being added, so we will refer to it as addition of 0. So all of these lists have been obtained by adding something to the previous value to obtain the next value. The addition could be of a positive number, sequence number 1 and sequence number 3. Addition could be of a negative number, sequence number 2, sequence number 5, or it could be addition of 0, like in sequence number 4. All these values which are being added here to obtain the next value, all these fixed numbers, these are referred to as the common difference of the AP. So this is what we have. The fixed number which is added to a term to obtain the next term is called common difference of the AP. I would be referring to it as CD for short. Now this common difference could be positive, negative, or even 0. You could go back to the sequences which I have listed right before the definition. If you look at those examples that I have written right before the definition, you would understand what I'm referring to here. If we add a positive number, how do we get the next term? If we add a negative number, that would be subtraction. And if we add 0, that means there will be no change. So in this case, the terms will be increasing because this is simple addition. In this case, the terms will decrease because if we add a negative number, it simply means that we are subtracting something. And if we add 0, the terms are all equal. So this is a general point of view to keep in mind. If your list is in increasing form, that means we are adding a positive value. If your list is in decreasing form, that means we are adding a negative value or we are subtracting something. If your list is same, that means we have been adding 0 to obtain the next term at each step. Now let us look why this fixed number which is added is called as common difference. The number that we add to obtain the next term, it is called common difference. Why is it called the common difference? For that, I've taken an example 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. You can simply observe that this is an AP because at each step we can add 3 and we will get the next term. So if we want to find out the further terms in this sequence, you can keep on adding 3 and you can find out as many terms as you want. Now, if we refer to these terms in a general way, so if I represent the first term as A1, the second term as A2, the third as A3, fourth one as A4, and so on. So this will become my general list, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. If I look at the difference between the consecutive terms, consecutive term means if I look at the difference between the first and the second term, A2 minus A1, this will be 9 minus 6 equals to 3. Now look at the difference between the next two terms, A2 and A3. So A3 minus A2, it will be 12 minus 9, this will also be 3. And each time when I'm trying to look at the difference between the consecutive terms, what I'm doing, I am taking the difference of succeeding value minus the previous value. So this is how you have to write down, keeping in mind the definition that the next term was obtained by adding something to the previous one. So if you want to find out the difference, it will be the next term minus the previous one. So if you are looking at any of these terms and you want to look at its difference with the previous one, you would take that term, subtract the previous one. So that's the rule we are following here. So that way, if you look at the difference between the third and the fourth term, it will be given by A4 minus A3, which is 15 minus 12. This is also equal to 3. So looking at these differences are between the consecutive terms. And all these differences are equal. And these equal differences are called as the common difference. You could take any two terms from the sequence that forms an AP. And if you take the difference between any two consecutive terms, remember when you have to take the difference, you always have to write down the term minus the previous one. The difference would be same throughout. And the difference is referred to as the common difference. So observing this pattern, what we can say is, if the AP has been written in general form, the first term is A1, second term is A2, the third is A3, then so on. There is AN, then the next place, and so on. The difference between any of these two terms will be same, and the difference will be referred to as the common difference, represented by lowercase d. So the common difference, I told you earlier, I will be referring to common difference as CD. So common difference will be represented by D, and this is given by subtracting any two consecutive terms. And the subtraction will be written in the order going backwards. So A2 minus A1, or it could be A3 minus A2. If we go further in the sequence, it will be an plus 1 minus an. So n plus 1 is actually telling you the position. So if n is, say, 10th position, then n plus 1 will be the next one, that is 11th position. So this is the general way to write down. It could also be written in by taking an with its previous term. So if we take an, if n is the 10th term, 10th position, then the previous one will be an minus 1. Remember, these are subscripts. N plus 1, n minus 1, these are all subscripts. These will be written below the normal line. Another way to write down an AP in a general form could be, if we know the first term and the common difference. If we know that the first term is A and the common difference is D, then what will be the AP? So the first term is A. To obtain the next term, we will add D to A. So the next term will be A plus D. Then to get the next term, we again add D. So that will be A plus D plus D. So this will be A plus 2D. So following this pattern, you will have the next term as A plus 3D, so on. So based on this concept, we could do question number 2 from exercise 5.1, page number 99. Write first 4 terms of the AP where the first term A and the common difference D are given. So let's take the first part of this question. You have been given A as 10. So A represents your first term. So this is the first term. Along with this, you've been given D. This is also 10. So this is the common difference. So if we want to write down the first 4 terms, the first 4 terms means the first term as such is A, which is 10. The second term, it will be obtained by adding the common difference to the first term. So A plus D, it will be 10 plus 10 equals to 20. Then the third term will be obtained by adding D to the previous one, to the second term. So A plus 2D, or you could simply add 20 plus 10, adding 10 to the previous term. So you get 30. And for the fourth term, what we're going to do, we will be adding 10 to the third term. So at every step, you keep on adding 10, the common difference, and you'll obtain the next term. You have to find out the first 4 terms. You could simply write the answer 10, 20, 30, and 40. These are the first 4 terms obtained using the first term as 10 and the common difference as 10. So this was the first part. Let's do fourth part now. Fourth part, we have A as minus 1 and D as 1 by 2. So the first term is minus 1 and the common difference is 1 by 2. If you don't want to write this way, it's completely fine. What we can do is, we have the first term. So first term is minus 1. The second term will be obtained by adding the common difference to this. So previous term is minus 1. Add the common difference. So this is on taking LCM. This will be minus 1 by 2. Then we have the third term. To find the third term, we will take second term and add the common difference. We were given the first term and the common difference. The second term was obtained. First term plus the common difference. For the third term, we will take the second term and add the common difference. This way, the second term is minus 1 by 2. Adding the common difference 1 by 2 equals to 0. Now to obtain the fourth term, what I'm going to do is I will take the third term plus the common difference. I'm going by the definition. To obtain any term, we have to add the common difference to the previous term. So 0 plus 1 by 2, this will be 1 by 2. So these are the first four terms of the AP formed by A and D given as such. Let's do third part as well. In the third part, you have been given the first term as 4 and the common difference as minus 3. So first term is given as such, 4. The second term will be first term plus the common difference. So this will be 4 plus minus 3. This will be 4 minus 3 equals to 1. Then we need to find out the third term. It will be given by second term plus the common difference. So the second term obtained is 1 plus the common difference is minus 3. So this is 1 minus 3 equals to minus 2. And then we need to find out the fourth term. For this, we will take third term, the previous term, add the common difference. Third term has been obtained as minus 2. Add the common difference to this. So minus 2 minus 3, this will be minus 5. So these are the first four terms of the AP. And as you can see, when the common difference is negative, the values decrease. Second and fifth part, we will be doing yourself from question number 2. Now let's take a look at question number 3. For the following APs, write the first term and the common difference. So this is the first part for question number 3. You have been given this sequence and you have been asked to find out the first term for this AP and the common difference. Although they have mentioned that these are all AP, arithmetic progressions, you can check it side by side just to make sure. For that, what we can do is we can look at the difference between consecutive terms. So if I represent these in general way, so I've been given the first four terms. This is the first term, this is the second term, third term and the fourth term. Let's look at the differences. Consecutive terms subtracted. So A2 minus A1, I'm doing this kind of in the working column in my rough space. So taking the difference between these two, and you will always take the difference backwards. So 1 minus 3. So this will be 1 minus 3. This is equal to minus 2. Now take the next two, second and third. So A3 minus A2, again going backwards. This will be minus 1 minus 1. This is the third term. Minus 1. Subtraction sign. Second term. Minus 1 minus 1. This will be minus 2 again. So as for now, you can see the common difference is same. Let's take the next two as well, the third and the fourth one. So third and the fourth, we will write backwards, fourth minus third. Minus 3 and minus 1, their difference. So this will be minus 3 plus 1, this is also minus 2. So this confirms that the given sequence is an AP common difference is same. Therefore, the list or the sequence is an AP. So we have confirmed it. And now we can answer. The first term is 3 and the common difference represented by D is equal to -2. So for this, I will suggest that you do this work in the fair. So you can show that you have calculated the common difference, because by looking at the common difference, you can tell whether the list is an AP or not. If the difference stays the same for all the consecutive terms, then the list will be called an AP. And this difference, which is equal for all consecutive terms, will be called the common difference. So once you have taken these terms as A1, A2, A3, A4, calculate this and then write down that the common difference is same. Therefore, the list is an AP. The first term is observed from the list and answer, and then the common difference what you have calculated. Take a look at the third part of this question. We have been given a list of fractions. So the first thing I want to do is I want to check whether this sequence is an AP or not. And for that, I'm going to represent these in the general way. A1, A2, A3 and A4. So the first term is 1 by 3. The second term of the sequence is 5 by 3. Third term of the sequence is 9 by 3. The fourth term is 13 by 3. Although just by looking at it, you can tell that this is an AP and what is the first term and the common difference. But in exam, you have to show it to the examiner. So this is how you're going to do it. Let's look at the common differences. Let us look at the differences between the consecutive terms. So A2 minus A1, the difference between first two terms. This is 5 by 3 minus 1 by 3. This will be 4 by 3. Then take second and third. So we will be writing the difference backwards again. Third term minus the second term. The third term is 9 by 3. The second term is 5 by 3. So again, the difference is 4 by 3. Now take third and fourth term. Taking the difference backwards. Fourth term minus the third term. 13 by 3 minus 9 by 3. This is also 4 by 3. So you can write down consecutive differences are same. Therefore, the list or sequence is an AP. And now we answer. The first term represented by A will be 1 by 3 and the common difference represented by D is this difference that we have calculated. This is how you will be writing your answer. Do second and fourth part of this question yourself.